Welcome back to Turbo Time. Today we're going to be doing a 10,000 mile update on our ON3 twin turbo kit on this Gen 4 Coyote F150. Had it on here for about 6 months and just shy of 10,000 miles. We're at like 9,800 miles or so since it's been on here. We're going to go ahead and put it on the lift. We're going to inspect for leaks. We're going to put a wrench on all our V-bands, all that stuff, make sure everything is in order. And I'm going to give you my impressions. I get a lot of comments on some of my social media posts about how Whipple or other forms of positive displacement superchargers are more reliable than a twin turbo, which I just don't understand. Any form of boost, any form of a power adder there's an added risk for adding power to any stock power plant that was never intended to make 800 or 900 horsepower. So are you putting more wear and tear on everything? Absolutely. Why there's so much distrust for the reliability of turbos, I don't understand, because pretty much every OEM on the planet offers some sort of factory turbo build. There's not very many factory supercharged builds. So I just don't understand where it comes from in this particular community. But without further ado, we're going to get into it. We're going to get this thing up in the air. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so not much to see down here. I did go ahead and put a wrench on all of this stuff. This is what the cutouts ended up looking like when they were complete. So we can go ahead and open these with a switch. And they pretty much come right after the Y pipe. So Y pipe comes down, screamer pipes come down, and then we're connected to our exhaust. Just giving the truck a general once over. We got our little airbag pump, but overall, very satisfied. I went ahead and put a wrench in a hand on pretty much everything. Everything is still right and tight, so there's no complaints there. Ride Tech kit is doing well. Like I said, with the suspension, I would potentially go in a different direction. I may still end up doing a 4-link from Speed Engineering, or Suspension Engineering, I believe is their name. I'm gonna order a tubular crossmember for the trans that includes a drive shaft loop, as well as a tubular engine crossmember that includes a front diff brace. So as far as suspension, I think that's really going to round it out. I don't think we're doing anything else. Again, this is a daily driver truck, not a race truck. So guys, in conclusion, can a twin turbo truck be daily driven? Absolutely, I believe so. I drive this truck as my main mode of transportation. I tow with it. I daily drive this truck. I've put 10,000 miles on it in the last 6 months without a hiccup. No oil leaks, no other issues that I see a lot of people claim that twin turbos have. No strange clamps coming off, no nothing. If you set up your turbo kit correctly the first time, I believe they're very trouble-free. I think a lot of the issues that people have are installation errors. And I believe that an installation error can happen whether it is a budget-friendly ON3 kit or a top-of-the-line daylight kit. Installation errors can get you. Now, with the ON3 kit, is there more ways to cause the installation error? Absolutely. All of this stuff is V-banded together. So technically it fits together in many different ways, but it only really fits in correctly one way. So Is it more challenging to install? Yes, it is a challenging install. If you watched my install videos, it's definitely not a walk in the park install. For some more of the DIY guys that are trying to do this in your driveway over a weekend, really, I think the most friendly kit for the DIY guy in his driveway with limited tools is probably the ESS blower or the Pro Charger. Any of the Sentry blowers, they can still make great power. Basically, any power adder on the market is going to be able to get you to the limits of the stock block. It's when we start talking built motors and built transmissions and all that stuff, if you're trying to make over 1,000, over 1,200, well, then maybe this budget kit is absolutely not right with its log manifolds and everything else. Obviously, you might want to opt for one of the more expensive kits on the market with full tubular headers and all those other things that come with it. But if you're trying to stay at 7, 8, 900 horsepower, they can pretty much all get it done. Whether you go with a Whipple, whether you go with a centrifugal blower, whether you go with turbos. The only kit that I don't like as a power adder for these trucks is On3's single turbo. They have a lot of problems with back pressure, anything above 8 or 10 PSI, they really struggle. So if your goal is like 650 or less, even the super budget single turbo On3 kit could work for you. But as far as reliability goes, I've been very satisfied. No exhaust leaks, no oil leaks, no boost leaks. Overall, my experience with this kit has been very positive. I've installed some of their products on other cars as well. We did a twin turbo S550 build. That kit I do not like as much as this kit. Some of their earlier stuff, I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan. I've also done one of their single kits in the S550. I'll say that their single kit's actually very well designed. It works well. And in an S550, if your goal is less than 1,000, that single kit will get you there. The installation is much easier and less involved than a twin kit for an S550. But if you're thinking of getting a power adder, this is a viable solution for you. They've been great to me so far. I will continue to give you guys updates as we progress. I'm hoping to make draggy hits and track hits. It's just starting to warm up. So at the beginning of March, this truck will be hitting the track. We will be able to get some real world data. I will be adding a watt box to this truck so we can try to get off the line and actually put down some good 60 foots. So as always, guys, if you like this content, if it helps you, share, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.